Hi there, and welcome back to my channel, Learn Academic English, where I teach intermediate and advanced level English lessons for English learners who want to be successful in school and work. And today I'm going to present 7 tricky or strange or unexpected grammar rules in English. This is going to help you take your grammar to the next level. First, let's look at this one very simple but unexpected grammar rule. When we have a negative clause, we use or to combine or connect two things. Usually people will want to use and in this case, but the grammar rule tells us that if the verb is negative, we need to use or. For example, I don't like hot dogs or hamburgers. A lot of English learners will want to use and here to join two nouns, but because the verb is negative, we need to use or. A couple other examples are, I don't speak Chinese or Japanese. Illiterate means that a person cannot read or write. Okay, in the next one, we have negative inversion. So you probably know that there are at least a couple of times when we use a negative at the beginning of the sentence and we invert the subject and the helping verb. The correlative conjunction not only but also is probably the most well-known or the most common situation. So in this case, we have the negative word at the beginning of the sentence. What we do here is we add the helping verb do, looks like a yes-no question, and we invert the order of the helping verb and the subject. Not only do I have a YouTube channel, but I also teach English in California. Another example is with the word never. Never have I ever climbed a mountain. Again, this is an example of a negative word at the beginning of the sentence. We need to have a helping verb and we invert the order of the helping verb and the subject. Number 3, the words each and every are singular. You probably know this already, but for some reason the words each and every in English are singular, even though when we are thinking of every, we're thinking of more than one. So in this case, you want to remember that the words each and every are referring to singular things, but we're thinking of them as a larger group. For example, each house on my street is brown. So when we think about each individual house, but there are many of them in that group, so each house is referring to one, and we're going to use the singular verb is. Number 4, my family and I as the subject always has I last. So again, this is when we're using this as the subject of the sentence. If it's not the subject of the clause, then we're going to need to use the pronoun me. But when it's the subject and we have the pronoun I always goes last. It doesn't matter how many items you have, if you have my family, my neighbors, my friends, and I. And we don't say I and my family. All right, let's look at the next one. The next one is a little bit harder, and this is using had I for a conditional. For example, had I known it was your birthday, I would have gotten you a gift. This is a past conditional, so it's referring to something that happened in the past, but we wish or we are thinking about how it could have been different. It's conditional because it's referring to something that didn't happen, but we are thinking, what if? So this conditional is the same thing as, if I had known it was your birthday, I would have gotten you a gift. What we can do in this case is we can drop the if and then flip the order of the subject and the helping verb. Another example is, had you come to the party, I would have been happy. Meaning, if you had come to the party, I would have been happy. You didn't come, but I'm imagining if you had come. Had you come to the party, I would have been happy. Next, another conditional with should inversion. Let's look at this example first. Should you need help, please visit my office. So the important thing to note here is that this is a completely different meaning of the word should. This is not the modal should that I can use to give advice. You should study more. This is a completely different meaning. What happens here is that we have a present conditional with the word if. We drop the if, we insert the word should, and then flip the order. So again, if you look at this example, should you need help, please visit my office. What does this mean? This means if you need help, please visit my office. Another example could be, should you finish the test early, you can go. And what does that mean? If you finish the test early, you can go. Okay, then finally, if I were you. I have a whole video about this if you want to learn more about this one, but this is an example of an unreal conditional. It's an unreal conditional because we use this to talk about situations that we only imagine, but they cannot be true. If I were the president, if I were 10 years younger, if I were you. And what happens here is that with this unreal conditional, we have the verb be, but we use it in the past tense, and we use were for all of the subjects. If I were you, if he were the president. Sometimes you can hear people say was, but the grammar rule tells us for this unreal conditional, we use the verb were. That one is pretty tricky because it sounds a little strange. If you can think of any other tricky or strange or unexpected grammar rules, let me know in the comments below. And if you have questions, please make sure to ask. I'll be happy to answer them. Take care, and I'll see you next time.